Okay, this is Johnny. As part of our research and development of creating our own music album for the Village Musicians, I've decided to analyse a typical music album. The one I've decided to analyse is by the artist Joshua Radin, and the album name is called Simple Times. The first thing I'm going to look at, probably the most important thing, is the album cover, the front of the album. This is quite an important aspect because, as you can imagine, in shops such as HMV, this is what's going to be this is what's going to be facing the consumer, and it's important that it grabs the consumer's attention and kind of reflects what is in the contents of the album. So, kind of first glance, you kind of see it is quite a simple image. What kind of draws to your attention is a red background, dark red background. And the image is of a sandpit with a bucket and a spade. The actual image of Joshua Radin has been superimposed onto the image of the sandpit. I don't know if it's clear to see, but it's almost as if he's been cut out and stuck on there. So, although it is quite a professional image, they've kind of tried to put aspects of a homemade, kind of individual style of the album, kind of that it's been cut out. It looks as if it's been cut out and stuck on there. In my personal opinion, I would say that the image reflects the album name Simple Times, because I think what he's trying to reflect is that when he was younger, or when anyone is younger, that it's a simple time because there's less to think about, less to worry about. And that's what he's trying to reflect by sitting in a sandpit with a bucket and spade. What you can see here is just a little sticker that's been stuck onto the album CD. And what it says, what you've got here is, you've got a few reviews, so I don't think you'll be able to see it. But one of the reviews says, "Medicine to the ears," and the reviewer was The Times. And that's quite a nice thing to put on there. Also, because it was done by The Times, it's quite a respected reviewer. So that may entice the person or the consumer who's looking at the album to buy it. Another thing that might entice the consumer to buy it is that there's a little bit of writing here which says that there's a exclusive 2 bonus acoustic tracks and a video which you can get via your PC with the use of the CD. So that's another thing which is trying to sell the album, saying that the consumer can get added tracks and a video with the CD on top of what they're already buying. So let's move on to the back. So this is the back of the CD. The first thing that you kind of see here is you've got the names of the songs on the album. It's very large font. I think the reasoning behind this is because it's important to, quickly show the consumer what songs are on the album, because obviously they don't have a long time to have a look. And I think what's most important is that they have a look and see songs that they recognise, or that they may have heard of before, because that's what's going to sell the album. If they haven't heard of any of the songs before, then they may be less likely to buy the song, or buy the album, sorry. So that's why I think that they're in quite a large font. The background is a kind of a black background with some red stripes on there. I'm not exactly sure what they're meant to represent, but I think it helps the back stand out, because just a plain black background or a plain red background is quite boring. But what you've got here is you've got some black with red stripes, which it doesn't stand out. It's not too garish, so it doesn't stand out, but instead, you've got something which is presentable, which looks nice and goes well with the other colours on the back of the album. Something that I'm not as keen on is that the barcode has been placed right in the top right corner. Now this stands out quite a bit, and I think, although it's important that you have a barcode on an album, I think it would look better somewhere down the bottom where it doesn't stand out as much, because having it right in the top right corner kind of takes the attention away from the other elements of the back of the album onto the barcode, which isn't as relevant. What else? Something else that you have here is you've got the producers of the album. So producer here, or the record label that he's signed to, is called Mom and Pop, and I think that is owned by Warner Brothers, as you've got a Warner Brothers sign here as well. And then you've just got kind of the legal stuff, who it's licensed to, and all of that. So then going on into the inside, so this is a single fold CD digipack, so it's kind of, this is in line with almost every single fold digipack that you get, which is one half is the encasement of the CD where the CD would be placed, and then you've got the other half which normally can involve some form of information. In this one you've got a little kind of pamphlet which also includes the album cover. So this is what the album cover was, and this now turns into a little booklet, which is quite a nice idea. Inside, he hasn't been as creative as he possibly could have been. What he's done is he's included all of the lyrics of the song, which, I mean, are an important aspect, but whether everyone that buys the CD wants to know all the lyrics to sing along, maybe, arguably it's probably not that big a deal. So that you've got that on the front and on the back. So these are the first couple of songs, and then these are the other songs, the last 4 or 5. And in the middle here you have got images of when he was younger. Again, this is possibly something to go along with the album cover, or sorry, the name of the album, Simple Times. Like I said before, a time where he was younger and he didn't have to think about kind of the things that an adult would have to think out, the responsibilities. Life's a lot easier. Another thing to go on is that the background of the booklet is the same as the red, but this time it's in blue. So a good part is that it's relating, or it's the same throughout. There's not that much variance. And just looking onto the back, you have got he has included the band names. The band people who played in the songs. So you've got the people that have played in the bass, the drums, piano, percussion, guitar. So he's named all of them. He's also got who it was produced by, where it was produced, and then finally what he's got down here, which arguably I maybe wouldn't have placed it down here. This is what he's put his website, www.joshuaradin.com, and he has also put his MySpace account. The CD is quite old, so that probably would be replaced with a Facebook account nowadays. But he's made that quite small, and at the back of the album, album pamphlet, I possibly would have made it a little bit larger and placed it in a more prominent place, such as the back. Only because I think it's an important element that people that have bought this CD, to go online and to have a look at other songs you may have created, or other pieces of your work, just to allow greater sales. So that's the album cover there. I mean, looking at for what elements which were good for when we're designing our album, I think that the element of putting the pamphlet as a CD cover is quite nice. You've got quite a simple design on the back, which means it's easy to quickly address what the information. Again, I'll probably say that we wouldn't put the barcode right in the top right corner. I think it's a nice layout as you open it. You've got your CD cover, your CD holder, and your information here, which can then be taken out. So we're going to probably address these ideas when we're designing our album for the Village Musicians, and hopefully create something similar but with a few improvements. Okay, thank you. Goodbye.